We exist in a timeless dimension. But as long as we take ourselves to be the body-mind, we'll be afraid of death and disease. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. And the only way to realize that you are beyond the body is to discover what you are, discover what you really are. When you discover what you really are, then you won't care about the fake you, the imagined you, the false you, because that's not real, it's not really you. You think the I amness, the sense of being, depends on the body. It doesn't. The sense that to exist, you don't need the body. But the conventional belief is that to exist, we need the body, and therefore we need to protect the body. But we don't need the body, and we don't need to protect the body. There's nothing to worry about. Now, I've got to be careful when I say we don't need to protect the body. Because the practical teaching says it's important that you do protect the body from a practical point of view. So, if you're in a situation where there is a contagious disease that's deadly, and there are measures you can take to prevent the contagion or spread of that disease, then you should take them. And I recommend you do. You see, if there are steps you can take to protect the body, to reduce risk of harm to the body, I recommend you take those precautions and reduce the risk of harm to your body mind and to other body minds, as I said at the beginning. But the mind has an anxious, neurotic reaction when it feels threatened, which is understandable because it thinks it's the body. The only way out is to discover, are you actually the body or are you something else? To find out for yourself. Listening to me tell you this may help, may not help, depending how much faith you have in my words. But irrespective of how much faith you have in my words or the teachings, if it's on the level of the mind, there's always room for doubt. So if it's just that if you believe that you are the self, as opposed to believing you're the body, then it's still on the level of concepts in the mind. And then it can always be doubted because you're still operating from the point of view of the mind. The mind is your reference point. As we become still, and we develop faith in the teachings, in Ramana's teachings, then we realize there's nothing to worry about. And we leave it all, we take the precautions, we take the steps we need to be safe and well, and then we leave it all to God. You'll find in your daily life, you'll be much better able to cope, and you'll be able to act and interact with others in a more skillful way. You'll still make mistakes. People will still make mistakes, but it will all be fine. Remember, nothing that happens in life can affect the self. And you are the self. So the I am that you are is never threatened. It's unbroken and present. The I am is continuous and unbroken. And it's that which never comes nor goes. So it's total security. It's everything you are. Pay less and less attention to the neurosis in the world. Do what you need to look after yourself. And apart from that, just let it all go. It's not. It's unimportant. When you think you're the body-mind, then you hope for things for the body-mind. You think, oh, I wish my life could be like this rather than like that. I hope this happens rather than that happens. Whereas when the identity with the body-mind goes, then you don't care so much for those things. There might be natural preferences that arise, but there might not be. It doesn't matter either way. All you care about, in quotes, is to abide as the self. And Ramana says, don't pray for a better life. Abide as the self. That's more important. Then you realize you don't need a better life because you're the self. This is illusion. But you must realize this for yourself. Otherwise, the suffering continues. The ego continues. And the ego, when I say realize for yourself, the ego can't realize this. The mind can't realize this. What knows the self? Only the self. You'll know this non-conceptually, non-intellectually, not with the mind. It's the knowingness that's already there, knowing itself. You realize there are no other people. There are no other people, no other things. It's just one. The mind can never realize that. The mind can believe it or think it, but it can never truly realize this. Just like in a dream, when you're having a dream, all the characters are illusory and they're all one with you. It's the same. There are no others. They're all creations of the self. They're all creations of God. And you are that. You are that self. You are that God.